Alright guys, welcome back once again to Red Blur Gaming. Right now we are hustling through some models quickly because, as I mentioned yesterday, we do have a practice game today. So I'm going to be quickly panel lining some stuff that I painted off screen slightly. As you can see, there is the legs of a commander here that need to be done. So let's just get some, oops, missed the thing completely, that's the way. Get some black on some of these sections, and that will prove helpful and handy. And oh, he's done, lovely. Oh, that's too much on that brush for what I want to do. So in the butt there, let me bring it round. Am I worrying about the section here, maybe a little bit more in the kneecap, around the side there, lovely. Alright, so while this is actually being done at like 500 miles per hour, it feels like, the intent is that, as I said today, this afternoon, I have a practice game with these, this list. Again, another one, slightly different from yesterday's. I'll be running 2,000 points versus 1,000, which I ran last night. But, oh, holy crap, what have I done there? It's around there, around the butt there. We are very close. Whoa, there's a lot there, more than I anticipated, to being able to tick off having certain units done, which will make life, to be honest, a hell of a lot easier to get through some of, turn it around, there's a dry spot there, some of this being built and completed, which would be great because in the background there you can see I have 3 crisis suits that only so far need an extra coat of black template on their helmets. Their legs and guns can be dry brushed, and then the blue added for the plasma bursts. That means that then they can be glued onto their bases, which the bases are here, haven't been thingoed yet. And then I have 3 more, which obviously need panel lining and legs done. I don't know if I'll get them done in time for today, but I will be okay, I think. Because I have finished all 9 of my Pathfinders, my Cadre Fireblade's been primed, although it probably needs another whack. I do have at least something to lead my Breacher team. I have stealth suits set aside, which I'm going to have to reprime. I do have extra stuff to build. I've got Chalnath sitting in the background here. Chalnath Pathfinders in the way, being painful. There's my dry brush material. Which I think I will obviously try and figure out how to strip them. So I'm not really overly happy with the paint job I did and reprime. But yeah, apart from that, I think I'm going to quickly rip into this. As you can see, I've done those legs already, so that's like, he will be ready to go hopefully by the end of this video. So I've just got to do the torso, which I've also already painted one, given one coat to his helmet. So let's quickly, as long as everyone can see what I'm doing, which is more the point of why we're videoing, so you guys get to witness the craziness. Also, so you get to hear me talk absolute rubbish. But we are going to quickly try and get this panel lining, when I can get it in the right spots, complete. Again, I will panel line some random pieces. I did do on the crisis suits all of these front-facing vents, for the reason being that I thought it looked actually pretty cool. I don't want it to leak out too much while I'm going. Let's just make sure that that has completely gone all the way around, and then we can work on some other areas, which obviously are always fun to do. Oh, it's a lot there, but that's fine, which means we can just ensure that that gets us through. We will get one of these thingos out. We'll actually get rid of the excess right now while I'm thinking about it, so that there is no major spillage, because excess looks trashy. But there we have it. I might actually go ahead and do these top vents also, just for something different. As I said, each time I play with the panel liner, I find that I learn a little bit more about it, a little bit more about how far I want to push it, how helpful it can be, how far it can go. Lovely. I'll switch over to this side. So I also want to give it time to dry, so that, as you said, when you're turning your models around and you are panel lining, well, that's a massive job. I'm glad that fucker didn't go where I thought it was going to go. Oops. We are slightly also rushing because obviously today I am filming on Mother's Day. I have to go and see my wonderful mother shortly for lunch, which I am extremely looking forward to, because I'm a bit of a soft spot for my mother, bit of a mummy's boy maybe, as you can call it. Definitely think that mothers are amazing and everyone should love them and give them all of the love and support. It doesn't matter if it's a single mum or a mum who has help. Your mother, you only get one mother, and to be honest, the moment that she is gone, you will regret it. And that's the way that I look at it. Similar to, I was very sick at one stage, and she said to me, she's only got one son, and the moment I'm gone, then she's going to wish that she'd spent more time with me, or all those kinds of things. Spent more time, telling me how much she cared about me, or ergo loved her child, dearest cherub of a son, who was also sometimes the bane of her existence, because as all sons are, we are a little bit silly. But anyway, we will continue on with what we're doing, which is just getting all this panel lined, which is actually great fun as far as I'm concerned. I love that I learned how to use a panel liner. I guess not just learnt, but figured out what one was, because I have had some serious fun panel lining these miniatures. It's made a hell of a difference to the way I wanted to paint, the scheme I had in place. Just all round enabled me to, I would say, what about up there? Every time you twist this model around, there's a new spot where you're like, oh, hang on, I forgot about that bit. Enabled me to have some fun and really, I feel like, push my boundaries, even if I didn't, it's too much on there. I didn't actually do what I wanted. I didn't, I ummed and ahed about whether or not I got exactly what I wanted out of the model. So currently I'm going to call, almost called it a touch too early. Panel lining is all officially done. Just clean up a few overspills as we go around, and there we have it. Panel lining top and bottom of that guy is complete. So we're just going to jump into, lock off the panel liner lid, although we probably could panel line those next three, because all their arms are done, miraculously. I did that. I could probably do the legs rather quickly, which I might even do, because it gets me to the next point. Excuse the confusion. I'm umming and ahhing about where I want to get to in terms of what is best for me to do right now to get me to the position where I'm gluing these guys to their base. I'm going to get some silver dry brush out. On the side here, I'm actually in front of everyone, I'm going to try and work my silver into the dry palette and then test it on my skin, which I am absolutely enthralled with. Although then I get a lot more than I planned on, but that's fine because I'm going to go bananas with this, and the point is that I want it to get across all of these sections. So actually I'm not that frustrated with it. It is a little bit heavy there, but that's, you know, sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles. We can then get in and dry brush, as said, a lot of other bits and pieces, which for me is hilarious because then, to be honest, a lot of these guns are almost, I might need a little bit more by the looks of that, starting to run a little bit low. Almost all done, so we'll get some more up to the thing. I'll get some more out, just make sure that it is still coming off. Oh no, it's not coming off quite heavy enough. That should be better. That gun is done, so a gun there. Oops. Oh, there we go. Gun there. End nozzles. End nozzles. And then obviously legs, which again, as you can see, I'm getting everything I want out of the dry brushing here. Nice little different bit of colour, and then we'll hit this top gun from all sides. And apart from the head, which on this is the gentleman who has, which I think I'm going to need to go back through and fix his, get some more. I am going to have to get some more because I started to run out there. Good to see that. Let's get some on there. Hopefully that's fixed my problem. It has. Look at that, lovely. That black all over the model, which then allows for, now this is probably the one crisis suit, which is a little annoying, that is the furthest ready to go. So I could actually, if I wanted to, which I will right now, while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to glue his arm on. There we go. We are basically one completed crisis suit away. As I said, black's got to be done on the helmet of that guy, and we can, while we're going, we can actually, as I said, get this at least dry brushing done on particular parts, especially because of the fact that his legs and guns are done. The helmet, well, it can be dry brushed in a little while, but it does enable that to be done. And honestly, I probably, even with what's going on, where I'm at, I could probably actually glue those last two guns in place, making life a hell of a lot easier. I'm just gonna because the next section after this, obviously once gluing is done and old boy wants to keep hold of his weapons, which seem to work for some and not for others. Oh mate, hold on to your gun properly for me. There. It's just doing a couple of dashes of black on those helmets. This guy, as I said, also has to have black on his helmet. Probably, honestly, could have his torso glued to his upper body, because that is not going to be much of an issue holding on to the whole model while I paint the helmet. So we'll let that dry. But yeah, all our dry brushing is done, at least for the silver stuff for the time being. So we will just give these guys a chance to dry while they're gluing, dry the gluing. And we might call that video a day before we jump into the next one, which will just be a little bit of, I guess I'll hit up the panel lining. I will start on the next lot of crisis suits because I really want to get that done. And then there's just a few, just moving the camera around there, a few bits and pieces. I've got to get the Null oil out to hit some silver spots on some of these guys that I intentionally made silver. And then it's the whites in the ends of the guns before I go in with my, I was using WARHAMMER, which is up here. This contrast, sorry, it's better off if I find the right, there it is, Azurum blue, but I, yesterday, then went over a few of mine with this Vallejo Game Color ink, which is blue azul. I can't get it to find the right zoom. I'm just gonna, there we go, blue azul. Luckily I've got two hands, I can tap the camera screen. But I've been using both of those to get the, and obviously here we go, the, oops, middle of the screen, tap the camera, the dead white or Blanco Calvera in the actual bits. So as per normal, if you like what I do, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, comment, in order to be able to keep up to date with what's going on. I'm building a little pile of rubbish, which is great. Again, I need to throw all that out. But yeah, thank you very much for following along, and happy Mother's Day to everyone. If this manages to make it out on Mother's Day, if not, it will be after, and I hope everyone's mothers had great days. I know mine will, because we always do the best we can for her. But from me, that is all, so peace out and bye from now.